everybody. Welcome to another General 0 Hour replay. This one is the first game of the night from May 22nd on Territorial Dispute. And this is a map that Skippy had just pulled out. None of us had ever been here before, and our teams randomly ended up on the right side of the map, but none of us knew who we were going against yet. So, on the top team, Scottagorn, China Infantry. Neo is GLA Demo. Over here, STM is GLA Vanilla. Across from STM is pcap. GLA Demo. Coredawg is USA Super Weapon. And Skippy is GLA Stealth. So again, none of us had been here before. This is a brand new map, so everyone's kind of exploring the map. Neo is going to be able to send multiple workers up to the front to be able to explore. And I have found these oils over here, decided that's a good place to set up camp. Looks like pcap and the mountain are getting there right about the same time, but the mountain's starting his tunnel first. And so pcap is going to be walking some distance trying to get a worker behind. This is reminiscent of Philippine Highlands. Last time pcap and the mountain faced off against each other. Mountain got his defense down first. pcap just ran away a little bit behind and avoided it, hoping he's forgotten. I don't know if the mountain knows he's there or not. Neo setting up next to this supply dock, and Coredawg setting up a little bit behind that, right next to the mountain supply center. That I thought it would be within reach. It must be just outside of reach, but that caused quite a bit of commotion for our team. Seeing Coredawg getting defenses, what really felt like behind our own line of defenses. And there's a bunker going up next to the oils to defend them. China Infantry gets automatic mines around those bunkers. And there goes a second bunker going up. So that's pcap going next to Coredawg. They've got a good defensive line going on in the middle. And pcap found a way to get through to the mountain supply, those workers right there. And quad comes in and saves the day. Avoids too much damage, maybe lost $600 or $800 worth of workers, but not too much. And that was a demo truck from Skippy getting taken out by Neo there. Skippy does like to use those. I think he's the only one in our group that does, that I see use them. So Coredawg's got his fire base up, and an EMP missile launcher up, and causing quite a bit of trouble in the middle now. The mountain had to defend against pcap coming in already, twice, and we're having to defend against Comanches and fire bases, and already we're kind of feeling on our back feet here. There is a tunnel up there, pcap hasn't used it yet, and the mountain must not know about it. So it looks like our team is doing better with collecting the resources in the middle. We've been getting attacked already. We've got more supplies down, but can we keep it long enough to actually use the resources from it? That's the question. You can set up all the supplies you want, but if it doesn't make its money back, the other team's going to get the advantage from being able to create armies. And it looks like that's what's going on at the beginning of this game. As one article put it, it's the difference between having a greedy strategy, which is getting all the supplies you can in the middle and hoping you can keep it, versus having an aggressive strategy, which is not setting up for supplies right away, but holding back and building an army as soon as you can and pushing through whatever supplies they're creating. And as far as the rock, paper, scissors strategy goes, aggressive strategy is supposed to beat the greedy strategy, and it looks like our team's being more greedy, and their team's being more aggressive. But the supply's still there from the mountain. Down here, the oils are still there, the supply's still there, so maybe we will end up making our money back after all. Got both the oils. That's a $1,000 bonus right there. But the very, very middle of the map, that's controlled by the left team. Kind of splitting us in half. Pcap is bringing in a second supply to the middle, and Coredawg as well, so, might call their strategy aggressive instead of greedy, but they are also getting resources from the middle. The other strategy being to bunker off, and I don't remember what you call that. I think it's called turtling. And turtling's supposed to beat the aggressive strategy. So I was going to go into the middle and help. I remember Neo calling for Scott to come and help out, and that pcap was behind his base, and so I was going to the middle, but then I think Neo was talking to the other Scott, so I was confused. I was then told to just go back over here and focus on Skippy. Who is bombing me? Someone's bombing me. That's Coredawg. Oh, there's those Aurora bombers. There's the Super Aurora bombers, the first of many. Here they come. 1 airfield, 2 airfield. And the secondary economy going up already. So here we go. I have lost one of my oils. I have lost all of my bunkers. But those minigunners are supposed to be pretty strong against planes, so I'm trying to space him out. That way, even if he attacks me, he can only get one at a time. So far I think that's going to work. Pcap? Did those come from the tunnel, or did the tunnel get taken out? I think he just drove those around. I'm not sure. Pcap's army surrounded by defenders now. Caught in the middle. What is the most productive direction to go with these? That is the question. You don't want to just get here and take out more units like yourselves. You want to get some buildings, but it's just which direction do you go? That's the most effective. Up at the top of the map, I did have some Inferno cannons taking on Skippy's defenses with an outpost there to discover them since they're stealth, but they got bombed. Here comes another Aurora. Yes, there it is. I'm going to take out my minigunners one at a time. Sure, they're strong if a plane drives over top of them, but if the plane doesn't get close enough to them, you can't fire. And I don't understand why the minigunner in that one wouldn't have taken out one of those Auroras. What in the world? I sent the minigunner in there for that very reason, hoping if he couldn't see it, he would drive over the top. I thought it was a pretty good strategy. So there goes one supply. Here come more Aurora. No, those are A-10s. Just whittling down the defenses. And I think those, yeah, that troop concentration from pcap did come from this tunnel from the side. I forgot where it was. SDM has pcap's troops on either side of him now. And this second supply stash, I think, is finally going to go down from him. So it got some money. I gotta think it made its money back, but pcap didn't let it live much longer than that. So further this way, we're starting to see where the line of scrimmage is. Neo, knowing that Coredawg has planes going overhead, is starting to make a line of quad cannons. Tunnels, stinger sights. And I'm trying to send in another army. Hopefully this one gets a little farther. But they are still getting harassed. be nice to hang back a little bit to keep distance from some of those defenses, but I feel like I have to move in fast as I can to get as much accomplished as I can before the Auroras take all my guys out. The hope is that the minigunners will be able to stop some of them before they get back to base, but it looks like they're distracted, and I think all of these Auroras are making it back. They're just going to get sent right back at me. Yep, there it goes, just flying right over the top. Okay, at least that one got taken out. And that was it. That's pretty much all the further I got. Hoping that sending an infantry like that would mitigate some of the effects of the Auroras, since they would have to take out one infantry at a time. It'd be more cost effective than sending in a bunch of tanks, but the Auroras plus these rebels were enough to destroy that army, and now all of the supplies over there are gone. Left to try to rebuild an army from back here. Kind of protected by Neo's line of defenses, got a few stinger sites right there. Another Aurora coming over the top now, a couple of them. Gotta work on the defenses. How did they take out 3 defenses with 2 shots? Well, the defensive line extends all the way to this side of the map now. The Mountain found the tunnel, took care of it, and is starting to build an answer of his own. Line of defense is there. At least he can concentrate in one direction now instead of trying to work in 2 different directions at once, but it looks like pcap does have a good jump on him. Jarman Cal plus 3 quads will be able to take care of that angry mob, and those oils are going to belong to pcap pretty soon, I think. Gonna just move in slowly with these buggies. He's got the range, he can take land slowly. Just slowly take more real estate away from these stinger sites. So Coredawg's got lots of money. It's hard to use all of it when your main strategy is Auroras. It's not like pumping out a bunch of money into tanks. Starting to work on my base. Already took out my war factories. There goes the dozer, building another one. Doesn't take long. I don't tend to build humongous bases, which is a massive disadvantage when you are against a super weapon general, especially when Coredawg is the super weapon general. I think Neo's strategy of building lots and lots of buildings might be a stronger one against Coredawg when he's super weapon. So now I'm trying to build over here in this corner, maybe hoping Coredawg doesn't know that I'm up here, but then that burning yellow beacon may suggest otherwise. I think Skippy saw me and is telling Coredawg exactly where I am. It would have been much smarter for me to build behind Neo's line that he had. In the middle. The mountain still has that supply up, but the very, very middle is protected here, and the south team is enjoying that. Skippy thus far has been denied the middle. Now his workers must have depleted his supply dock and are coming all the way up this direction. I don't know what he has for secondary economy. He's got the oil there. Coredawg working on supply drop zones. How many airfields is that? 1, 2... Just 2 so far. 3, I think. Yep, 3. And lots of black markets for pcap. He's set up well for a long game if it needs to be, but I don't think this is going to take too much longer here. pcap now owns this side of the map, whereas before that was the mountains. He was very patient, decided not to destroy the oils, but instead captured them for himself. Trying to build this supply back up, get some economy going, because my entire base has been taken out here in the back. All by Auroras. And now just a few missile defenders to try to take them out on their way back. Neo helps out with the quad cannons, but that, I think, was my last dozer. I had just started sending it back behind Neo's line to try to see if I could build a reactor and then surrender, but I couldn't get there in time. Coredawg found it, hunted it down, so now it's up to the mountain and Neo. Neo has an impressive defensive line, but it looks like he's been getting bombed as well. Nope, that's my old base he's building into now. Getting black markets up and running. None of those Auroras are going to make it home. And Neo does have a lot of black markets now. Using every ounce of cash to build something else. I think that's the way to go against Super Weapon. Here comes another round. Okay, so Coredawg must have figured he took out enough on in the back of the base for those buildings. Now he's just going to focus on the front line of defenses, one unit at a time. Oh, there goes another one. Doesn't do anything. And the mountain is preparing for a push from pcap down here. Pcap slowly taking real estate. Now looks very comfortable defending his oils that he's acquired. Starting to try to outrange the mountain stuff that he has going on down here. Have some hijackers coming. They're going to be detected by the stinger site. Don't quite make it. They were close though. Okay, another Aurora. Taking out buildings as Neo builds them. I wonder what this best strategy is at this point. I honestly do not know. I wonder if you just make a bunch of barracks for $500 each and start putting up barracks all over the place. Make Coredawg think that there's something more expensive than that. Have him take out a bunch of $500 barracks with $2,000 Auroras and try to outlast him that way. But even as I say that, that just doesn't sound like a strategy that is going to win you games. Okay, pcap found a way through the stinger sites. Must have collected enough buggies. Wow, where is all that toxin coming from? Did he do that? Or did the mountain put that on his own base? Okay, pcap rebuilding his army, waiting for his tanks there to heal up. Up here, more Auroras coming in. None of them are making it home, so Neo has the right defense set up. Each of those quad cannons is going to be pretty cheap, and he has them spaced out accordingly, so they can only be taken out one at a time. So that's very effective. Coredawg's got an answer for that even. He is super weapon general after all, so that's going to be $4,000 for that super weapon instead of $5 to put it up. So now, pcap's enjoying all the money that he's getting from those black markets. He's able to build a sizable army now, and the mountain really didn't have an answer for it. I think he had been microing to defend himself from those early armies that pcap had been sending in so much from that tunnel, that while he was spending more time defending himself, pcap was spending more time building secondary economy, so he's got the jump now. And is able to roll this into the mountain's base, and it looks like this is going to be about it for the mountain. Now it's just up to Neo. He does not have a defensive line on this side of his base. Got a small army there. But this army from pcap's looking pretty leveled up. And a good mix of buggies. He even has a scud launcher in there somewhere. I don't know where that was. Maybe the mountain was able to take it out. So this is going to be about it for our north team here. I think I remember we were debating whether we should just hang up the towel now or wait until we were completely destroyed. I was trying to run intel. I was able to see the entire map at this point, so I was kind of telling them where their doom would come from. Not that that's a whole lot of help. And now up at the top, Skippy's gotten enough resources from the middle. He's able to make a small army of his own and send them up on the other side. So, lots of damage being done by these Auroras from Coredawg. pcap, still a good group of units over here, going through the back. And they're able to clear up a lot of Neo's economy. Still has plenty left, but he's going to be getting it slower now than he was. Not going to be able to replenish this defensive line as quickly as they're getting taken out. So this was a game where I got taken out of it very, very early on. I was able to push into Skippy's base using the range on those Inferno cannons to take out his stinger sights and using the outposts to detect his stealth, but my army was decimated by those Aurora bombers, and I didn't have anything in there to stop the Aurora bombers from getting back to their base. None of my troops were taking them out on their way back. So I think if I had been a little bit more patient and held back and spaced my army out and put minigunners in front of my army spaced out, been a little bit more slow in advancing so that my troops weren't constantly targeting something else, I could have taken out some of those Aurora bombers. It might have taken longer for Coredawg to rebuild them, and then I could have gotten farther with that. But I was rushing into the base to try to get as much done quickly before my army was taken out by Auroras. I think next time it'll take a little bit more strategy to prevent them, because after my army was taken out, it was onto my base, and my base wasn't that big because I don't build that many buildings, and then it was 3v2 after that. Coredawg strikes again with the Auroras, and then pcap had success reclaiming territory from the mountain on the other side of the map. We were able to claim the middle early on, but then the south team was able to push us back from that before we could get too many resources from it. I think the mountain held on to his side longer than I held on to mine. Neo did have the most resources that game. He had those black markets up and running, and that was able to feed his steady stream of quad cannons so that even if Coredawg took one out, even if the Aurora bomber made it back to base, Neo could make 3 by the time Coredawg made another Aurora. So as long as he could keep the rest of his base alive in back, I think that's a good strategy against super weapon general until we find something else out that works. Coredawg, plenty of money as well. I don't think I checked out his base, but I think he had lots of supply drop zones in the back. pcap, we saw lots of black markets from him as well. Most buildings destroyed, evenly split between pcap and Coredawg. And that about sums up the match. First one of the night for May 22nd. We'll catch you next time.